Welcome, audience, to the first, first interview session of the Breaking Barriers interview series that's really set up to inspire and empower female executive leadership talent. And so I do have the honor of speaking with our first guest, first interviewee, and her name is Virginia Sanchez. She's been the director of IT, and she can introduce herself further. But I just want to say that BoostThru, we are all about leading the charge for female leadership empowerment. That's why we're here, because we know that there's lots of growth, there's lots of growth potential for female executive leaders or female leaders in general, in terms of maximizing their influential power and wielding their influence. And so we do want this series to help in making women unstoppable in their careers. So Virginia, I would like to, without further ado, I'd like to welcome you to the Breaking Barriers interview series. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, everybody. I have been in IT for over 30 years, and I was lucky enough to work in various industries, from government, Fortune 500 company, and then ending my career at Bear Paint Company for the last 17 years. So, yeah, I've set up a project management office from the ground up. I've overseen the help desk, our QA teams, and our retail group as well, to help support the global organization.
Excellent, excellent. That's an awesome background. But can you just repeat again, was the company that you last worked on?
Paint company.
Okay, awesome. So that seems to be a very encompassing and really rich career that you've enjoyed. So thank you so much for your contributions over the years. So I just wanted you to if you can give us a snapshot of, describe your industry and the specific challenges you've seen them face in terms of cultivating resilience. And you can pick, one or so if you'd like, in terms of cultivating resilience, emotional intelligence, mastery, navigating difficult conversations, empowering authentic leadership, and building strategic and personal resilience networks. Is there anything that comes to mind in any of those challenges?
I've been in technology, like I said, in over 30 years in various industries. And in technology, the biggest challenge that I have seen has been able to get women into IT and then retain them. Most women who come into IT will leave IT once they hit their 30s. A lot of times because they start having families, and they might not have that support, because technology, sometimes you have on call and so forth. So there is still a big gap in bringing women into the industry. And I think that's something that we need to change, to empower women to come into the industry, but also support them, because they might not have the same challenges as their male counterparts, because oftentimes they're the main caregivers for their children or maybe other parents.
Okay. So in terms of, we say, to be specific, cultivating resilience, that's a favorite, area of mine that is crucial for, people to reach their highest potential, right? And to stay there. How do you really view women performing within your industry in terms of, exhibiting resilience?
Well, I've done myself a lot of mentoring within my department or within the company itself, where people have asked me for my opinion, and oftentimes, these conversations result in the individual looking within. What is it that I want to do? What are my gaps? And being that person that kind of just holds up the mirror so they themselves can arrive at the conclusion that, okay, I want to get the next step, but obviously the leadership isn't seeing that in me. What is it that I'm missing? Or what is it that I'm not displaying? And oftentimes it's just a conversation and telling them, well, if you want to get there, what have you done to get there? You know, have you taken on additional opportunities, stretch assignments, etc., uh, to help you get to? And also the simplest of things that I've told many people that I mentored is, have you made your intentions known to your leader? Because
Yes.
oftentimes they go, well, they should know that I want that. I go, how would they know that if you don't tell them? If you don't start planting those seeds?
Yeah.
So that's what I tell them. Start planting the seed and having those conversations because it's your career. You need to take charge of it. And you need to begin that conversation.
Absolutely. So that's very beautiful. Thank you, Virginia, for saying that, and most importantly, for doing that, encouraging women along the way so they could stay focused. From what I've heard, they can stay focused on the end goal and a plan, right? And just not be distracted by what they may think when it may not necessarily be facts, right? So, and of course, the important thing in building resilience from what I've known over the years, from what I've gathered, is making sure that the energy within your team is, recovered when there is a crisis or an issue, or a setback or a concern where career advancement um, is in the mix. So thank you for leading so beautifully. We need more like you. So the next question I have is really around cultivating a resilience. So how do you define resilience in the context of your role as an executive?
Resilience is sometimes staying the course and sometimes doing, it comes down to doing the work. It's sometimes doing the work that you might not like to do. Everybody has something they like about their job. Oh, I like uh, doing presentations in my job. Oh, I love doing that piece. But they might not like the, oh God, I gotta give reviews or I gotta do the budget. But all those pieces is what helps you develop and to become even the next leader in whatever opportunity you want to go after. So you got to do the work. And by doing the work, you build that resilience that, okay, I got this. I'm not an accounting person. I don't like to do statistics and all this analytical stuff that it's me, but it's warranted. Understanding, especially as you get higher in leadership, understanding the uh, the 10K, the budget analysis, the revenues, is a company doing well? It, all of that, you need to understand that so you can understand your position in the company and the leader that you want to go after. Well, what's the leadership position? You can't just say, oh, I want to be a leader. Well, okay, a leader of what? So in all these things that you might not like doing, well, you need to build those skill sets. And that's
Absolutely.
to me is resilience, is staying the
Yeah.
course, doing that work, even the
Mhm.
work you don't like, to get help you get to the next level.
Yes, so beautiful. So, I mean, from what I've gathered here and what you said, is that resilience is best demonstrated when you can have a realistic plan and work and stay focused, right, on that realistic plan before you, because you know exactly what aspect of leadership you're looking to achieve. And then, of course, adaptability, making sure that you understand fully well the increasing areas of responsibilities as you do climb that ladder of success or corporate ladder of success, that it comes with a territory. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, I am.
Absolutely wonderful. And then, so if you can just tell me, what are the any strategic, specific strategic strategies, sorry, or practices you found effective in building resilience within your team or organization? Anything outside of what you just
Yeah.
described, practice. Mhm.
I think the biggest, I don't want to say lesson, but the biggest eye opener occurred during COVID. I mean, because COVID forever changed how corporate America works, not only how we work, but where we work. And
Mhm.
there was a lot of resilience that had to be done. We had to create not only company wide, but mobilize the entire company, giving them the tools, whether it's Teams or Zoom, uh, giving them those technologies so they can continue to do their jobs. Um, just finding a different way to onboard new team members. How are they going to do their jobs? How are they going to continue to move projects? How are they going to support via help desk? How are they going to QA websites and mobile if all their technology is set in the corporate office and you're not in the corporate office anymore? So strategically, that helped us very quickly. How do we strategically continue to not only support the business, but during COVID, we also were really involved in the merger and acquisition of 50 million plus company. And all of that was accomplished via online, everything. And
That's
so I think from a strategic standpoint is never say that it can't be done because sometimes you have to make it happen, you know.
yes, I love that. I'm in 100% agreement with that. Always keep an open mind, and that is the basis for being resilient, right? Just understanding that nothing is impossible, and just forge your way through. And of course, implement new practices, new methodologies to adapt to the new climate that you're in. So brilliantly said. And so I just want to move on here quickly to emotional intelligence mastery. What specific skills or competencies related to emotional intelligence do you believe are crucial for success at this at an executive level?
Yeah. I think if I have to say one of the biggest thing as an executive that you have to
Mm,
do and adapt is listen. A lot of times it's more important as an executive to listen to what the people doing the work are saying.
mhm,
And oftentimes we do all the talking, or we lay out the strategy, or we inform the department on uh, various company goals. But I think what's even more important is for executives to just listen and to what is being said, and more importantly, how are the people reacting to what is being uh, put out by the executives?
yeah. Wow, that's awesome. So one question I have, just to follow through from that, is around the navigation of difficult conversations, which we all know comes up every day in the business environment, as a challenge. So how do you approach and navigate challenging conversations while maintaining positive relationships and achieving desired outcomes? Any
I, I
tips on that?
think, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, I was just saying any BKMs or words of wisdom you have
Yeah,
in that regard for aspiring female
yeah.
leaders.
Uh, I mean, I have had to have several um, of those conversations throughout my career, whether it be as a lead, a manager, or in my previous position as a director. And I always found that the best thing is first, it's not about me, it's about the individual in front of you. And
Mhm.
if you beat around the bush and don't say what needs to be said and kind of say it quasi, you're doing
Yeah.
that individual a disservice. I've always found the best thing is I said, especially if it comes, for example, a performance, I would say, this
Mhm.
is where I think you're doing well, but this
Mhm.
is where you're at, and then this is where I need you to be, and this is where I think your backhands or your um, areas of improvement need to happen. Because I think it's crucial for any leader. If you don't want to have these difficult conversations, then you need to maybe not become a leader because
Absolutely.
they're gonna come up and it's not about you, it's about the individual in front of you. And you gotta tell them, and maybe you might be the first one that tells them, you know what, you're doing this wrong. And I have had people say, you know what, I've been doing this way for the whole time, and I've only been working for you for a year, and you're the first person who told me that I've been doing it wrong. And I'm here like, what? How is that possible? So I think just have that conversation and prepare. That's the other thing. When you're getting ready to have those difficult conversations, you need to prepare for it. What is the message that you want to say? What is it that you want the person to walk away with? And
Mhm.
hopefully you can wrap up the conversation with a plan and say, this is how we can get you. Not
Yes.
everything's not lost. This
Mhm.
is what I think the plan should be to get you to that area of improvement.
Yes, I do love that. And I want to point out where you brilliantly said that having a positive, leaving a positive tone after having such difficult conversations or challenging conversations is of utmost importance.